Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Inventure Quest. We'll be playing a summer camp prank themed game. Inventure Quest is not a video game, it's a board game, but we're using a video game to simulate and show it.
Yeah, so I'm Liam. I'm a nerd. I like to do the announcements. Been building a ham radio that might come in handy later.
Yep. Hi, my name is Billy Brasky Jr. I'm a 6'5", seventh grader with a lumberjack beard. Take after my dad. I'm a hell of a salesman. If I need to rip you in half to get ahead, I will do that. Already an alcoholic at 7th grade.
My name is Snake Weasel, and I'm the child of special ops parents. I'm like one of those kids who watches too much G.I. Joe and is like, flank right, pincer, blah, 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 right?
What if there's say our camp is in a valley, then there's like a hill or a mountain between us, and there's another camp on the other side, and it's like a 4-H camp where they raise animals, and we want to prank them.
The first quest of the game first challenge of the game is always to unite the other players around this quest goal. So essentially, you have this idea, and you're trying to persuade us to join in this quest. So let me just put your character sheet here, and I'll give you a minute to think. Plan, cloak, disguise. Well, this is more like a proposal. Oh, like we could sneak out of camp, right?
I kind of like the wheel because that's more mechanical thinking than like a drum.
Yeah.
And he could not, and maybe he's interpreting that as like signal to do something instead of like leading to do something.
I like
B
that
because primary, A as secondary.
B is primary, A is secondary.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
We start our story with just a general sweeping pan of the mess hall. A lot of kids having fun, all getting along, talking, having fun. Then we reach a table with Billy and Snake all alone, sitting alone. And a familiar voice comes over the announcements with this do-do-do-do. Hey guys, this is your camp announcer Liam with today's news. Lunch will be a loaf of bread with a side of brown. The Underwater Basket Weaving Club will not meet today due to a drought. And furthermore, if anyone would like to plan something related to a possible visit to the 4-H Ag Club, please come meet me down at the announcer's room. And Billy and Snake kind of perk up because they've been looking for a reason to get back at this Ag Club too. So they leave their breakfast early and head down to the announcing room, where there is a scrawny kid named Liam there, who is very glad that these people have came, and he puts out a plan that they're gonna do something, they're gonna accomplish something under cover of darkness. So yes, I chose B as my primary. Our first goal, so to speak, our first mission is we need to sneak out of camp to get to the to start getting to the rival camp. But there's currently a big capture the flag game, as you can see there, with the primary goal is to make the supplies run out of the opposing team's flag.
Interesting.
Our first hurdle is we need to both attend so the counselors see us, but then find a way to slip out during the capture the flag game. So I'm going to let Billy handle that because he's the big tough sportsman here. Oh, that's for the
I was thinking D, like the agreement and the deal and the team. That's like stealthily bribing someone, maybe.
A lot of these could be funny, could be really funny for Billy to do. I guess maybe besides the sneaky one, he's not. I don't think he's sneaky. That's kind of your guy. But for A, B, and C, I mean, inventing. He's resourceful for inventing something. He's got a lumberjack beard. He's not necessarily a lumberjack. Otherwise, I'd say like he could take C and he could chop down a tree or something. We'll do C primary, D secondary.
Okay.
So faced with the challenge of us trying to sneak away, and get away during this capture the flag game, what I do is I go over to the guys in the other bunk that we're playing against. I'm like, guys, we're trying to go do this other thing. We're going to go try to capture the flag, but we won't actually do it because we don't want to make you look bad. But we'll let you capture us as long as you put your like jail like on the backside of your bunk where the counselors they can't see it.
Huh.
And they're like, okay, so you'll make like us look good by winning. And then if we just do that, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we want to win, so sure. So we start the game. The three of us go in and pretend to make a big deal about, oh, we're gonna go at the flag, but we let them all capture us. And then they put us in the jail. But now that none of the counselors can see us because we were sneaky, and I made an agreement with the other team to make them look good. And so we do that, and so now we have like our clear exit to get out of the camp. It's like the counselors just think, oh man, they're just in jail, sitting there, they can't wait to get back in the game. But really, we are now like primed to escape.
Wow. Awesome. Okay, cool. So red and green both move forward one.
So we're sitting there behind the bunk when we look, we all like do that peek out thing when it's like our three heads are like stacked in a row. We peek out and say, okay, coast is clear, and we like scramble for the tree line. We run to the tree line. So as we start hiking over the like towards like the mountain between the two camps, we come across a road. And we're taught to be safe, so we look both ways to cross the street. And as we're walking across, this car zooms by us and crashes into a tree. And it immediately lights on fire. And like we can see that there's someone trapped inside this car that would clearly need help and could possibly die if we don't help them.
D would be someone who like offers if he can help us,
Yeah,
we'll
give us a
help
ride
him.
to the camp. Yeah.
But I don't know if that is specifically on his card.
Would it be too dark for his character to like go up to the guy and say, like, pretend to like call 911, but really be lying about it for B?
Yeah, so he can't lie to authority, right? That's what he said. That
Yeah.
specifically it's the authority, but this man has no authority here.
What about like C? Like maybe we help the person out of the car, and then like we use like a plant to help heal them. If he's got a military mind, maybe he knows, how to make like field medicine.
Yeah, I was looking at the bush and just thinking of generic special ops stuff of how
Yeah,
he's hiding.
right, like hiding in the
That
bush,
I think of
maybe.
that when I see the bush. That's
Okay,
a good
I'll
way to do
say
it.
C as the primary.
Okay, I'll take B as the secondary.
Okay. So faced with the challenge of what to do about this person stuck in a burning car, I decided to, we can't go AWOL on this civilian. We have to remember our mission objectives, and that the Geneva Convention prevents us from not interfering with a civilian under extreme duress.
That's what the Geneva Convention says.
Hey, it's not the most popular clause, but it is in there. So I attempt to pry open the car with a tool, but unfortunately, it's too late for the civilian, and the vehicle is too hot. We can see that the person is still in there, and they're not doing well. But we do not have a tool capable of extracting and opening the broken car door. And suddenly, our summer camp prank has taken a dark turn.
A little more Stand By Me than I thought this was going to be. All right. Do we go real dark and say C? That we scout around
To find a
just the
place to bury
flesh.
this person.
B, maybe we could use something iron to like run and
We could break.
attack the car and break it.
Yeah. So he's weak and he's asthmatic. So I feel like the running part, if we're taking it literally, is less like what he'd do.
He could ask one of us to run and do. Maybe he finds a chain and says like, "Hey, Bill, can you use this?" And so, not
Or C.
necessarily.
C. Okay. C. I like C actually. It's like survey, and we basically say like, oh, this person's like beyond our help.
Right? Or maybe that means we find a way to stop them from becoming a corpse.
Sure. Okay.
I don't
So
know.
maybe I'll go primary for C.
I'll go B as a secondary.
Okay.
So yeah, faced with the challenge of this car on fire with a person inside, um, I decided, listen, guys, we set out for one reason and one reason only, and that was to get vengeance on these ag slags that have been terrorizing us this whole camp time. And you know what? I think I have no problem just leaving, escaping this wrought iron, fiery, twisted thing of metal, and continue on our way. So let's go, guys. I'm taking B. And as we slowly creep closer and closer to camp, which is obviously in a forest environment because it's an agriculture camp, we just feel like we're being watched. And then we kind of look up and we realize, oh my god, the forest has come alive with animals who the agriculture club has clearly trained to be their lookouts, and we are now outnumbered by owls and squirrels, and there's even a baby catamount which we thought were extinct in this region. We are outnumbered, literally outnumbered by nature as we're about to sneak into this camp. So we need a plan and a plan fast to escape with our lives.
Okay, I got it.
I feel like
He's also he's an alcoholic. Do you think he would just hit the bottle and
that's funny. D could just be like, put them all in their graves.
yeah, he'll fix this problem with death.
Uh,
I like D as the brass tacks, that a guy who would disregard everything says, "Yep, I will fix this problem pragmatically by killing everything."
okay, so you want to do D as primary?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking C. I don't know how yet, but I like C.
Okay.
Okay, so Billy?
Okay, so faced with the challenge of all of these animals around us that are about to start attacking us, I do the one thing that just comes naturally. I pull out my hip flask. It's the one thing I always have on me.
Yes.
Chug it down.
Yes.
Because, it doesn't take much to put a seventh grader into an alcoholic rage. Just pick up sticks and just start flailing around, beating all of the little animals to death, smashing squirrels against trees, and just putting owls into the ground until just everything around us is just bloody and the ground is wet, and y'all are just going what just happened? Just in utter shock.
Man, we are just like a walking war crime, aren't we?
When we get to the camp, we sort of take a lay of the land, and you can see that this is a working farm. So they have all these they have a grain silo. They have a place where they have to muck out all the stalls that are just big piles of horse manure in places that are just all sort of contained, ready to be shipped out or used as fertilizer. They have big composting pits. There's big drums all around camp. So we're just trying to get a lay of the land to see what's here and what's available for us to use. We also see there's a lake at this camp. It's a fancy rich camp. They have speedboats. And so at the camp, so naturally they have to have gas for all these. So they have a big tank for boat gas there as well. And so we're seeing all these different things. Now it's time, to really pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and pull off an awesome prank.
Okay, I've chosen.
Yeah, nothing you said in your examples kind of, except, winning a challenge is what we're all here for. We want to surprise them and win, so to speak. But as far as actionable items, I could see A and C transforming into something he can actually do.
Yeah. Okay, who's picking primary? Is it my picking primary?
Yeah, your primary.
All right. I think I'll stick with A primary.
Cool. Faced with the challenge of figuring out how to pull off the universe's most epic and tactically genius prank, I decided to try to target their food supplies, namely the grain silo, to target the tower. we approach the grain silo, and of course, I always carry around small amounts of tactical explosives with me because, you know, of course I do. And I lay those charges at the base of the tower. Unfortunately, the explosion occurs and the grain silo just topples, but we're not get at a safe distance. So, like, millions and millions and millions of pounds of wheat grain spill out and tumble over us. We slowly drown in grain, and none of us make it out alive.